Hey everybody, Gunny here. Hope everybody's having a great week. Everybody ready for the weekend? No, I am. It's been a tough one. Today is Leadership Training 3. We're going to cover the letter A. A from LEA, Leader. This is the third lesson of 7, so just be prepared, bear with me. Again, the more I get in front of the camera, the more comfortable I'll get, and the quicker these things will go. First day was over an hour. The second day was only 42 minutes. So today, we're going to shoot for about 30 minutes. All right? So to begin with, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for watching this video and passing it on to your friends and sharing it and to other groups outside of the Empower group and the 10-10 Formula team. Who's ready for Denver? Everybody's doing the 8 core steps, right? Okay, good. Hey, one thing I learned in Denver that I just want to share before I get into this. Keep a relationship with your downline folks, especially the new people. If you're not emailing them every day, and I'm not just talking about an autoresponder, when you do your blog post, you should send them a copy of that blog post. If you don't know how to do it, AWeber has an excellent tutorial on how to do it. It takes about 20 minutes to go through it. Once you get it, you got it. And then in the morning you do your blog post, you copy, you paste it, you send it, and it's gone. You can forget about it for the day. So just a little coaching. Again, I'm new, so I can't give you a lot of coaching, but I can coach on stuff that some of the senior people have told and taught me tricks. I'm just jazzed. I can't wait to be on stage in Denver. So let's just talk briefly about awareness. Awareness is the birthplace of possibility. It's a place where everything you want to do or become starts. Now, at any moment, many paths lean forward, and we all are walking down a trail or walking down a path that's like a hike. Life is like a hike. The question is, you have to be able to choose which is the right path to take. And awareness, and that's just another word for your subconscious, tells you which is the right one to take. Remember what Dave Wood always teaches, that our conscious brain only deals with 7% of all our senses and all the input that's coming into our head every second. It's our subconscious that's working in the background, that's putting the thoughts together, working with your emotions, getting things out of your head, helping you to breathe, keeping your heart beating, doing all these things behind the scene that your conscious isn't even aware of. So just try to keep that in mind, that awareness and self-consciousness, your self-conscious, are the same thing. I think that awareness is the birthplace of possibility. Everything you ever want to do or achieve starts there. Somewhere just deep inside of you, and it calls out to everybody. A successful person, a successful visionary, or a successful entrepreneur looks inside to himself. There were several leaders on stage this weekend that talked about meditating or prayer. A successful visionary does. Day after day they look inside themselves to find the next step in the path. Always remember that success is an evolving journey. What you do today may work today, but a year down the road you may do it and you're going to be hitting your head against a rock and you're going to say, this worked for me for 11.5 months, why isn't it working now? It's all about change. We change every day. Life changes every day. People change every day. That's why we're people. How boring would it be if we were all the same every day? So, always remember that your success is an evolving journey. Now, awareness isn't the same as thinking. I'm sorry, I was just going to talk about Doug again and his thoughts on awareness. But I want to make it clear that just for the purposes of training, we're on the letter A. So instead of saying subconscious, I'll be using awareness. Just go with me on that. back on track. We make decisions intuitively. In other words, we make decisions based on what the information that our subconscious is feeding our conscious. And then afterwards, we justify that by trying to apply logic and reason to the choices we've made. Now, that's not to say that logic isn't valuable. It means that we use much more of our awareness than we realize. That's all I'm trying to say. On the conscious level, we really can only handle about thinking at one thing at a time. You know, it's really difficult for most people to multitask. Our brain focuses, it's just where our brain is built, is we focus one thing at a time. Our subconscious is just going nuts in the background, man. It's just crazy. Well, you know, basically, you know, like I said, things like breathing or your heartbeat, you're not consciously thinking about making your heart beat. Your subconscious is taking care of that. Same thing with breathing. Your breathing is taken care of by your subconscious. Nervous hand movements, the way you wrinkle your face when you say certain things, however. But basically there's 7 attributes to our conscious, and I'm going to break them down for you and give you definition, and I'm not going to get real deep into each one, so I'm just going to hit on them, and we'll try to get through them as quickly as possible. The first attribute is called centeredness. Being centered awareness or conscious means that we're stable and secure within ourselves. While other people around us may feel insecure or unsafe, we always feel secure and safe where we are and what we're doing. We're also the kind of people that we're prepared to relieve those around us that might be suffering with anxiety. We take their best attributes and we use them to put them to work. Being in the Marine Corps, I've seen a lot of situations where you take guys and women, husbands, family members, people just collapse from sheer exhaustion from their emotions, and you get them back up on their feet, you find out what their best attributes are, and you use them. You utilize those skills, and it'll take their mind, it'll take their conscious off of that grieving and things that they're going through now. Works. The next awareness quality that we cover is self-motivation. Now, the leaders with this particular quality permeate self-control, which means that one finds everything within himself or herself. You don't believe in there's an obstacle that can stop you. It's just a detour. You know, that's a person that has self-motivation. A person that gets up in the morning and already has a list of what they know they're going to do that day. They're self-motivated. They get up, they look at that list and they say, okay, 1, I'm going grocery shopping. 2, going to get the tires checked and the oils, tire rotated and the oil changed. You know, people that are self-motivated motivate. Other people see danger, and when other people see danger, people who are self-motivated see hidden opportunities. They see the ability to unfold a path to success that prepares them, the leader, to lead when the achievement is a goal. Now the next topic is coherence, and coherence simply is cohesiveness, how well we work together with other people or other businesses, other groups, non-prejudicism, that kind of thing. Having a coherent awareness allows you to be orderly and self-organized. Coherence extracts information from your 5 senses. And if everybody doesn't know what their 5 senses are, what are they? They're touch, smell, taste, seeing, and hearing. Okay? And people who have this type of affiliation, this type of gift, is able to extract information from those five senses and forms them into a coherent picture of what's going on around him in the world. That capability gives that type of a leader the ability to bring people together and support your ideas. Excuse me. Next is intuition and insight. And this particular awareness or subconscious thought is always observing. It's always watching something, it's always studying something, its mind is never quiet. And it makes people adept, people like you and I and most entrepreneurs I know, it makes us adept at dealing with people because we understand what they need, sometimes more clearly than they know what they need themselves. And this awareness makes you an excellent leader when it comes to making each person feel understood and listened to. You know, how many times have you walked up to somebody who's not necessarily a boss, maybe a supervisor or manager, and you have something you really want to share with them or you need to talk to them about, and they're, yeah, hold on, my cell phone's ringing. Right? That type of awareness is not what you want. You want somebody that's going to make you feel understood and make you feel listened to, and that's what Empower Network is all about. That's what the leadership and the training is all about. It's all about helping you to understand, listening to your issues and your problems, and helping you overcome them, giving you the tools you need to get where you need to go. So onward and upward, we're going to go into creativity. This is not one of my strong suits. But again, Empower Network is one of those groups that encourage self-help. So I have loads of books that I read or audio that I listen to that's all about becoming more creative, being a little more gentle in my approach to people. But I am working on it daily. Creativity awareness is the meeting point between the known and the unknown. When you're aware that you possess this talent or skill, I would call, you're aware that you can lead others by encouraging them to see beyond the old ways of doing things and offer them the sheer excitement of replacing their outdated and old way perspectives and getting them to try something new, i.e. empower, ClickBank. That's all I'm going to say. And of course, our final quality is transcendence. Transcendence it has no boundaries. It exists in the world, but it endlessly goes beyond it. You exist to demonstrate that we as humans can reach for infinity, and simply by being who we are, we help each other get there. Amazing. You know, this stuff that I'm telling you guys hasn't been written by anybody in EN, but it's everything that they teach us every day, every seminar, every phone call, our leaders pass down in emails. It just shocks me. I get speechless thinking about it. So how do we raise the group utilizing a person with these kinds of qualities? It's simple, really. You simply raise the group consciousness from its present level to the next level in the hierarchy. Step by step, you too can raise the 7 attributes of consciousness. Awareness can transform people. Nothing has more power to transform than awareness. When you become complete inside yourself, the worst conditions in the world don't matter as much. If you follow the inward path using truth and clarity as your compass points, the outer world cannot help but respond to your intentions. Its exact responses may be unpredictable, but through the support and the rightness of the path, it'll be proven to you time and time again. So in summary of our own awareness, we've learned today that leading from the soul means expanding your soul in order to meet the needs of others. Learn, grow every day, self-help books, that kind of thing. Consciousness has its own innate qualities. Once you cultivate those qualities into your subconscious and into yourself, you can raise the consciousness of those that those that you want to lead, and those that you want to serve. We also learned that the ultimate goal of awareness is to be transformed. Beyond any specific desire is the primary need to become completely liberated. How many people were liberated on stage this weekend? 3,000? They were afraid the stage was going to collapse, right? And when we reach this specific desire to become completely liberated, we reach that point in our visions, and our visions become one with our team, with our teammates. And isn't that what Empower Network is all about? You know, I went and thanked Laura for her story and said, geez, you know, I'm sorry I wasn't on your team, but, and you know, she gave me a hug and shook my hand, and then she said, well, you are on my team, you're part of Empower Network. It was a revelation. I wasn't looking at it that way. So, you know, isn't that what we're doing, is we're trying to point our visions in one direction, going the same way. Now, I found that if you attempt to do the following things daily, you'll find unlimited awareness. There's 9 areas in your personal awareness program that you should include. Now, you might want to get a pen and paper, write this stuff down as I go, replay the video and pause it. You know, there's 9 topics. I'm going to go through them real quickly and move on. First one is, please stop struggling. The first step to realize that life was not meant to be a struggle. What makes a good leader isn't necessarily having the toughness in the face of the obstacles, but rather helping others to find the support within themselves and taking advantage of the smoothest, shortest, and least effortless way to reach results. Get sales, get leads in that funnel, get, you know, subscribers, get customers, make friends, grow relationships. Number 2, keep listening to your inner voice. No matter inside themselves how skilled you become at dealing with challenges, in the end, every decision gets tested inside by your heart and by your conscious, your subconscious. You get tested, you question yourself. People that are hearing this and aren't all in, you should be all in. This is where you're struggling right now. You know, you got one voice, you know, you got the devil on one shoulder telling you, no, don't do it, it's a ripoff, it's a pyramid scheme. And on the other shoulder, you got the angel going, you know what, if you don't get all in on this, you're passing money up to your upline and you're not thinking. You're not treating this like a business, you're treating it like a hobby. You know, listen to the angel, it's the way to go. Only and only when one finds the voice inside themselves that's almost silent have they located the voice that they should have listened to. Your goal should be to start finding that silent voice today. Meditate. Meditate to reach your core of your awareness. Now, meditation, I like that word because it's very encompassing. For some people, meditation is literally sitting down and focusing on a spot or a point in the room and totally relaxing and doing breathing exercises. For other people, the way they meditate is they pray. And whether you pray to Allah or you pray to Jesus or you pray to God, whoever it is that you pray to them. Practice meditation. At least 30 minutes of your day should be spent in meditating or prayer. Every book, every self-help book I've read says it. 30 minutes a day minimum should be spent in meditation or prayer. Although very few of us attain true enlightenment, every once in a while you can find that peace, that state, no matter how short a time. Every once in a while you can get to that place where you're in complete and you understand everything that's going on. You have full control of what's going on around you. You know what's happening with your life. And every time you visit this level of consciousness, believe it or not, you refresh your body like nothing else in this world can do. It gives you new energy, it gives you a new psyche, you see things differently, You hear things differently. Different things come out of your mouth. Um, I recommend it. The next thing on our list, number 4, is testing your boundaries. And that's not like a dog tested its electric fence, zapper thing at the corner of the yard. Becoming aware is an internal process, and it needs not to be a passive one. A lot of people think, they can test their boundaries by just sitting there watching the TV and pumping people into their funnel all day, and eventually somebody's going to buy something. Well, that's highly doubtful. You gotta be a little more aggressive. Your boundaries change every day. Sometimes they're closer, sometimes they're further out. Every time I get in front of this camera, I am pushing a boundary. I am well beyond where my choke chain should be. But I do it because that's what Dave and Dave say to do, and that's what we're taught in the 8 core steps, and it's part of the program. So do it. I'm doing it, and I'm scared to death to do it, and I'm doing it. So if I can do it, you can do it. Number 5, remain centered. Your center is your place of power. Being centered comes naturally to every one of us. We're all centered. We all have our own comfortable zone, our own happy place. And we recognize it by the following indicators. Our mind gets quiet. All the mental chatter, all the blah, 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 and I got to do this, and I got to do that, and then I got to go get my hair cut, and I got to take the kids to do this, and I forgot dance practice, and oh God, the garbage has got to go. All that goes away. When you feel safe and confident, when your mood is carefree, you have a strong sense of being, and you feel a quiet but intense feeling of being alive. Your attention is in the present moment. And let me tell you, after this last weekend in Chicago, number 5 is my gig, man. I feel that quiet. The inside of me just wants to scream. It's intense. And I've never in my life felt more alive and happy than I feel I have felt over the course of that weekend. This last weekend has turned me into a new man, and someday you guys will get to meet my wife and get to meet me, and she'll tell you what a crazy Looney Tune I turned into when I came back from Chicago. So, and before I left. Now I'm just worse. Number 6, look beyond your personal beliefs. Very important lesson there. The stronger your beliefs, the more narrow your viewpoint. Your attitude should always be, you think you're right, but you may not be seeing the whole picture. I do that. I learned that's a military skill. Okay? I've made a lot of decisions, but sometimes I've had to listen to younger soldiers that said, Sarge, we've spent the last 72 hours trying to take that hill this way. Maybe what we need to do is flank them, or maybe what we need to do is hit them here. Maybe what we need to do is get air cover first, or artillery first, before we go in. Regardless, because that person is lower ranking than me, I should still listen to them, because clearly what we have been doing up to this point isn't working. We all need to do that. We need to do it with our spouses. We need to do it with our husband, our children. We need to do it with our clergy, with the grocery clerk. We need to practice it with everybody. Look, take the blinders off. Just take the blinders off. Number 7 is gather intelligence from every source. Books, audio. Don't watch so much depressing stuff on TV. Watching Judge Judy and the Hollywood Wives or whatever it is, and all the soap operas and stuff. Anything that's giving you negativity, get it the heck out of your life. Get some good intelligent stuff. Start putting feed your brain good food. There's a big difference between being centered and self-centered. A great leader practices what appears to be a peculiar transformation. He listens to everybody around him, taking in all that each has to offer, but when it becomes time to make the final decision, whatever decision he makes, whether it's the decision he came into that room with, or John Smith's, or Mary Johnson's idea, whatever decision he makes, he shoulders that decision. And he walks into the CEO's office and he says, look, I've made a decision and I'm standing behind it with total conviction. Now, as a leader, you have to know that if you want to avoid indecision, the answer isn't to make up your own mind alone and think that it's your way or the highway. The answer is to be open to all influences. You know, and not allow yourself to be swayed by the naysayers. Because no matter what you do, whether you're in corporate America or you're a junkie, you're pushing a trash broom, there's going to be naysayers in your life. Ignore those people. Get around positive people. Get around successful people. Drill your brain with Tony Robbins tapes and you know, different writers, and the new book by Susan Beasley that's out, The Mindset Shift. Read it, please. Number 8, have clear intentions. One of the first things they ask us to do when you join Empower was to sit down and write out your goals. What are your goals? How many of you still have that piece of paper written down? How many of you actually made a vision board, have a vision board hanging up somewhere? If you don't have them up, do it. Go back and review those things. Those may be the only 2 things that are keeping you from life and death in this business right now. Success and unsuccess. These 8 core trainings cost thousands and thousands of dollars to produce. Use them. Utilize them. I got this video camera so that I could do what they were telling me to do. So use it, folks. Use your tools. They give you the answer. They said it on stage. There's no magic trick. You do 80, when you first start out, 80% of the stuff you do to promote business, get people in the funnel to make money. 20% is spent on non-money making issues. Once you become more successful, you can spend more time on the non-money making issues and less time on the money making issues because you're getting a residual income. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? It sure was a no-brainer for me, and I'm not the brightest lamp in a box. Number 8, learn to have clear intentions. A good leader is comfortable giving orders and having them carried out. But a great leader, which is who we are aspiring to be in an Empower Network, a great leader goes one step further. They have an intention, they take steps to realize that intention, and then they let go of the outcome. They let their under leaders make the decisions on how the outcome. He tells them how he wants it to come out and what's supposed to happen and what he expects. A good leader then steps out of the picture and lets his people run with it. As good leaders, that's what we have to do. That's what they talk about on hand-holding, on the quote, put down the phone and pick up the check statement. That's what they mean. Don't be holding people's hands. You have a vision. Explain your vision. Explain about EN and what a great company it is to work, to be part of, and then let it go. The seed's going to either be nurtured and grow, or they're going to turn into an idiot. Either way, it's either going to benefit you or it's not. But be a great leader. Don't just be a good leader. We don't want good leaders in Empower Network. We want great leaders. At least I do. I want to be around great people. I don't want to be around good people. And remember that the path to making a desire come true, or a goal, like being on stage in Denver, is to be aware of what you're doing. Be awareness. Remember, that's what this one's all about, is awareness. Be aware every step of the way. Number 9, value your inner peace. Value your inner state of peace. With inner silence, you invite it to become part of your daily life. As your awareness expands, you'll become a greater service to the world. Because we're so used to leaders being authority figures, it's hard to accept that to lead, especially in Empower Network, in order to be a great leader in Empower, you also need to serve people. That's part of our job. But it becomes second nature once you realize that service isn't self-sacrifice. It is, however, it's your effortless expression of your state of awareness. So I ask you this: who are you? Ask yourself this after you see this video. Look in the mirror, go in the bathroom, and ask yourself, who are you? Bring a pad and paper. Because to me, everybody I met this weekend, tall, short, thin, fat, black, white, Hebrew, Hindu, Muslim, it didn't matter what your skin color was or what your height shape was. I think every one of you guys are awareness, and you carry awareness around with you in every part of your being. You guys can do this. If I can sit on this side of the camera and do this, then you guys can do this. That's it for me today. Basically, I'm going to end the same way as I always do. I want to thank Empowered Network for their support and training. All the leadership that met me over the weekend and took time away from their group to spend time talking with me and mentoring me. Thank you very much. 1010 Formula Team. Let's see some black lanyards this July in Denver. And Chris and Susan Beasley, you guys are the bomb. Thank you for everything. And I hope everybody enjoys this film. Please, I beg you, like it, share it, and put it on other group websites that are not Empower related. Let other people see that we do offer some decent training. Thanks. Have a great night.